In this video, you're going to find out why resolutions don't work and what you can do instead to guarantee change. The problem is with New Year's resolutions, and the problem is whenever we embark on changing something, we almost always start off in a negative. I want to stop something, which the brain doesn't hear stop or don't or do, or it just hears smoking or hears healthy, and it just has connotations with that. And the brain does two things brilliantly. And the first thing is it does everything in its power to keep you going in the direction you're going. You're like a big ship in the ocean, and your habits are that ship moving. And you come up with an idea and your brain goes, no, I just want to keep going. And in order to stop that ship and slow it down and turn it around, it takes massive, massive effort. And there's two ways those changes happen. And that's through persistence, which is the hard way. Hard. There's nothing easy about it. Or emotional impact. Now then, if you go to the doctors and the doctor says to you, do you know what, you ought to live a little healthier. You know, I've had that recently because my diabetes test has come back and my sugar levels are a little high. So I'm now having to cut out certain things, and it's really damn difficult. But if the doctor said to me, Stephen, you know, you're going to die in 3 months' time if you don't stop eating mayonnaise. Well, I'd find that a whole lot easier to stop eating mayonnaise. You know, that's emotional impact. Unfortunately, most things we want to change, we don't really want to wait for that emotional impact. We don't want to wait for our partner to die of smoking to give up. Things like that, you know. And I'm not judging on any of this. You know, you guys can do what you like. The other thing the brain does brilliantly, apart from habits, is solve problems. And this is what we can exploit. How many times have you been on the internet and you're scrolling through Facebook and you see a post that says 97% of people cannot see the E in the picture below? And you think, I can. And you search for the E. You can't scroll on until you found the E. And then you like it. Yeah, I found it. And you might even share it or might not. And other problems like 97% of people cannot see this colour in this picture or cannot solve. They're everywhere. And what do? We jump straight in to solve it. There's a slight difference between male and females. Males want to solve logical things. Females want to solve emotional things. And to a degree, we merged in the middle, so it's not always 100%. So how do we exploit this problem solving? Well, big CEOs and big companies, what they do is they have massive issues on a daily basis. And I've heard prime ministers and presidents now do this as well. And they end up with a problem that's presented to them. But they don't live and breathe that problem. They say, give me all the information possible for the next 15 minutes. Everything you have. And they go through it, they read and they analyse it and everything like that. And then they ask one other question. When do I need to solve this by? And it might be a week's time or when the conference is coming up or something. And then they shut off and forget it. Unless some new evidence comes up that's going to make a difference to the decision, they shut off and forget it. Well, what happens is the neocortex, our thinking emotional part of the brain, can carry on and get on with life. But the subconscious mind, the one that does our habits, the one that does all the solving behind, the one that does everything when we're asleep, And there's a lot of evidence for problem solving in our sleep. It just likes to solve problems. And how many times have you had a problem of something and then suddenly 4 o'clock Tuesday afternoon, bang, it hits you, the solution? It's not out of random nowhere. It's not from some crazy place or beamed down into you. It's because your subconscious mind solves it. It's been thinking about it all the time. We have this, we have 50 billion thoughts every hour or something crazy. Stanford University come up with. We have more neurons in our head than, I can't remember, than planets in the or stars in the known galaxy or something like that. It's something crazy. And there's more combinations of neurons in our brain than there is atoms in the whole universe. I remember that one, the last bit. That's just like mental. So you imagine how many calculations our mind can do if we just let it get on with it. So how do we exploit this brilliant problem solver? Well, we turn our resolutions and we turn what we want to change into questions. And there's another huge reason why this is so brilliantly important, or brilliantly works. Let's go through a few more examples. I've written them up here, so, to get fitter, instead of saying, I'm going to get fit in the new year, we can say, what can I do today that will help my body get fitter? Then immediately springs into mind, I could go for a walk, I could do this, I could do that. And it doesn't come up with all the pressure. And we can go for this, how I'm going to be more organised, or what's one thing can I do this morning to make me more organised this afternoon? How do we get more done? What can I do to prioritise my time better today? How do we stop worrying? I'm going to stop worrying. I'm going to give up worrying. I'm not going to do it again. Or what can I do today when I realise I'm worrying? Then the reason why these are so powerful is because they're stacking on top of each other. And the subconscious mind and the ego loves to do it. The habits don't come into play here. The ego likes to solve problems and win. If someone else come into your house and said to you, right, I'm going to get fitter today, just like you, and both of us can have a competition today, you'd win, damn it, wouldn't you? You would. You would outrun them. You would outdo them because you want to win. You don't like to lose. And that's what these questions create. They create a win solution. There's no lose solution because you're not saying in a negative way. You're not asking the question, I can't even think of the opposite. So we'll forget that. I was uplifted by Deepak Chopra the other day when he done a live and he forgot what he was saying and he had to go, and I think his wife or something was doing the dishes in the kitchen, but he totally forgot the last point, and I thought that was brilliant because I thought I'm in good company when I forget. But back on track. Yeah, when we have these questions, and they're stacking these questions, because the idea is to write down between 3 and 5, or just 1, but write them down. And when you wake up in the morning, and when you go to bed at night, just read them. And your subconscious mind during the day will go, oh, I'm not going to eat that packet of biscuits. And it will go, I won. Yes, I did it. And it will stack on top of each other. And before you know it, as long as you do these questions morning and night, because we do them at night so our minds can problem solve overnight. Because we may not be there, we may not be online, but trust me, your mind's working out everything. It's calculating everything that's important. So if you think too much and your mind's everywhere, give it something to do overnight. It works. Hey, thank you for watching. Look, a thumbs up would be absolutely awesome, and it really helps me. Look, also, you can download my book today. It's a book I wrote a couple of years ago, and it will start your journey to peace of mind. You can download my book from stephenwebb.com/book. Go get it right now. Thank you for watching. You're awesome.